When you first get into bow hunting, you're going to encounter many mistakes, and hopefully you're going to learn from them. This spring, I went for spring bear hunt solo, and it was pretty far away, and I made some pretty crucial errors in my pursuit to get a really big black bear in the month of May. So one mistake that I learned from this year was proximity is a really, really important thing when you're going to be baiting. You want to make sure that the bears never run out of food. In the springtime, for sure, they're a lot more hungry, and there's a lot less food sources. The berries aren't out yet, and so they will stick around for maybe a day or two, but there are other baits around that they will find. And so there's a trade-off. The further you go into the woods, deeper in the forest, bigger bears might present themselves more. Whereas closer into the town, this is my experience, the bears are a little bit smaller. But you can fill your barrel every single day. So that's one mistake that I had made this year. I had a really big black bear. He was probably about, it's really hard to say, but maybe between 300 to 350 pounds, which is really big for East Coast Canada or East Coast Quebec. And I had forgot to go for 2 days, and well, I didn't forget, I just had other things to do, and it's an hour away, an hour drive in the woods, and I missed him anyway. So I just kept baiting and baiting. Another bigger bear came, and I'll get into that now. So another bigger bear came. I made sure that I was going every day, and I got him on a routine, and so I knew he was coming in at 8:20 in the evening, give or take 10-15 minutes either side, and had my baits coming in. I knew he was going to be coming in. I got into my stand, and 10 minutes before cutoff time, I hear him. He comes in, and he wasn't coming in really cautiously, super comfortable. He just comes striding in, as you'll see on the video, very calm, and I felt like he knew where I was, not necessarily where I was, but where he was most uneasy. So our stand is up on a hill. You can easily see it. I tried my best to camouflage it, but he was face to us, and there was about a 20-foot difference in elevation between him and I. So the elevation was really, really hard to get to in terms of your angle of shot. Anyway, so one mistake that I made was not being patient enough. So I had him there, and he was face to me, laying down with the food he took out of the barrel. And he was just laying there, and I had pulled back my bow, and at 80 pound, and I was sitting there, and I should have collapsed the bow and just waited for him to go into the barrel again to get his food. But it was my second time ever bow hunting with bear hunting, and I didn't want to lose my opportunity. And so that's a big mistake that people make, is not waiting for the time. The bear's there. The bear's got his food. I should have just been a lot more patient. A lot of experienced hunters, would have waited. And so I did shoot him. It was a frontal shot, as you see in the video, frontal shot coming from underneath. I had bubbles on the arrow, blood bubbles on the arrow. I got him in the lung. He left right away. So when they just leave and scoot off into the woods really, really, really fast and either go uphill or downhill, it's a pretty good indication that you got a vital. And the fact that the blood trail was pretty significant. And so when we were following the blood trail, it was easy to find the drops on the leaves and everything. And the fact that we could see that there was a blood trail, this bear had so much fur on him. The fact that he was bleeding out like that was telling me that, okay, this is going to be a kill, and we're going to be able to get him. But the problem was, I didn't wait long enough to go and get him. The fact that I knew I got him in the vitals, the blood that I saw everywhere, I said, he's probably down. I didn't hear the death moan. So 20 minutes after, we started hiking up, through the woods, and I guess we spooked him, and he just took off. There was no more blood trail after it went out. He got onto the top of the mountain, massive clearing, bedrock, and we just couldn't find him anymore. It was really, really devastating to me because I put a lot of time into hunting. It was so, it was like a kind of like a nightmare situation, and so we were tracking through the woods. Um, and so the next day I came with my dog. He's not a scent dog, but I was like, maybe we can try and find something. I went back to the exact spot. I put a flag down, the exact spot of where we saw the last drop, and just, nothing, nothing. And yeah, pretty devastated. So that mistake that I made was going after him too quickly. Sometimes if you're unsure, it's 30 minutes, or if you're sure that you did get him in a vital, but you didn't hear the death moan, 30 minutes. But if you're kind of unsure, wait an hour, and then start trekking through. And also, if it's really, really late, you don't want to be trekking through really dirty, dense woods at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then you got to get the bear out, go back to the camp or go back home, come back really, really early in the morning, and just pick up where you left off. We were kind of constrained for our time because I knew that it was going to rain in an hour. So I said, well, we got to do it now. And so yeah, that was a mistake. So look at the weather as well when you're hunting. If it's going to rain a lot that evening, late evening, I would suggest just go put food at the barrel, and maybe not go to your barrel site for hunting reasons. If it's going to be raining, the bears are less likely to go to the barrel anyway. So yeah, that was a mistake and something that I learned from as well. And so with that knowledge coming into the fall bear hunt, which is just bow time, it's during moose season. So I'll be hunting moose and bear at the same time, which is kind of weird for me. It's going to be, I don't know whether I should bait or if I should just do stalk and chase. I don't know if I should do predator call. So there's a lot of research that I need to do before getting my feet wet in this domain of hunting two species at the same time, because they have totally different behaviors, right? So yeah, one thing that does build my confidence for this is when I was baiting for the spring bear hunt, a big moose came in, walked right past the barrel with me there, and bears around. And so, in terms of like predator prey, the moose are not going to be prey to the bears, right? And so they don't really care. Bears are very, very, very scared of the moose, actually. And so they just do their own thing, but it's more for, let's say if I do a predator call, is it going to bring more coyotes, or is it just going to bring a black bear? And what kind of food that I'm going to be putting at, if I even do put food. Should I use sprays, that sweetened sprays, or the little incense candles? Or is that just going to throw off the moose? Right when a moose senses something out of the ordinary, they're done. They're just going to go do something else. They're very, very cautious. They have a prey mindset, and so if they feel like something's off, if a smell is off, they're just going to go do something else. And during the rut, they're a little bit less cautious, but at the same time, I don't want to be spraying stuff everywhere and making their environment a little bit different. So yeah, this fall season, it's in a month. I can't wait. I'm going to start going to my area today just to check it out. I might even do, instead of the blind that I had up in the trees, a tree stand, I might just do a ground blind, and not even a blind, just like sit on the ground, not move at all, not perspire, not smell or anything, and just hunker in behind a rock or in front of a rock so there's no silhouette, and just wait, because the angle also made it very, very tough to get, full penetration of the vitals. Maybe I just nicked part of his lung. I don't know. Another thing too, I used a broadhead, a smaller broadhead iron will. They're amazing products, but for bear, the first bear that I got, I used a Rage tri trizzle thing, and with a screw top. So as it opened, it was just screwing its way through, and it took out pieces of lung, and he went 60 feet. That was maximum demolition in terms of impact and everything. And so I'm going to go back to using a mechanical broadhead with the bear, because being so close, we're within 20 yards. The mechanical broadhead will absolutely penetrate. I got an 80-pound bow. There's a lot of inertia and a lot of power behind that arrow, and so it'll pierce no problem. So yeah, the fixed broadhead. The thing is, the power was absolutely unbelievable. Passed through it like butter, but it just didn't give enough demolition in terms of getting everything, because the bears are really, really tough too, right? Yeah, so that's one thing that I would definitely consider changing this year. So anyway, if you guys have any tips, fall bear hunt coming up. Thanks very much for listening, and stay tuned for more content. Cheers.